Alright, we're live. Overcast day here in Marlborough. Not too cold. It rained earlier on, but the rain's holding off for now. Slightly dodgy lighting, but just bear with us.
Cold open in 5.
Copy that algorithm. Kia ora team, I'm Benny, and I'm here in the garden for the cold open of MML 68, the 68th consecutive episode of Monday Morning Live. And I hope you all had a great week. I certainly did. I'll tell you about it shortly. I'm going to continue what has become somewhat of a Monday Morning Live cold open tradition, and that is I'm going to sample something that I got from the Marlborough Farmers Market. And today it's the turn of Little Beauty's dried gold kiwi fruit. It says on the back here, ingredients, New Zealand gold kiwi fruit. Nice and simple. Now we sell these Little Beauties along with a lot of other products on the information kiosk. Sorry, I've just got something in my eye. It's live TV for you. So we sell these at the information kiosk, the people's kiosk. And we're going to try some now. Tear it open. There's a QR code on the back. You know how I love a good QR code. So they make these in Nelson, which is where my son was born. Nice spot, Nelson. Now it says on the back here that, where does it say? It's already here somewhere. 100% gold kiwi fruit, and it says crafted from 4 fresh gold kiwi fruit. So there's 2 types of kiwi fruit. There's green and there's gold. And this is gold. We're going to try some now. Chewy. And when I say chewy, I don't mean brrr. Sorry, that was terrible Chewbacca. Very nice. Shout out to Renee. Thanks for joining. Gold kiwi fruit from the Marlborough Farmers Market. There's 2, as I say, there's 2 types of kiwi fruit, green and gold. And up until now, I've always been more of a green man, but I don't know. Kind of like the taste of the gold. Speaking of gold, I've just found out that this guy, Daniel Bryan, aka Bryan Danielson, has just won the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. So good to see a championship around his waist yet again. Speaking of championships, at the end of the show I've got a very special announcement regarding the Monday Morning Live Championship. Actually, I've got 2 announcements at the end of the show, so stay tuned for those. But that's at the end of the show. This is the start of the show. So let's start the show. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the garden and welcome to Monday Morning Live, where today we'll do live, well, I'm not sure if it counts as live gardening. I'm going to give you a few updates on some of the things that have been growing well here in the garden and some of the things that haven't been growing quite so well. We'll take a look back at the week that was. We'll take a look at the week ahead. A couple of announcements coming up at the end of the show. All those things and many more coming up right here, right now, on Monday Morning Live. Well, let's kick it off with some gardening updates. This is our white creeping daisy. I got this from my friend Catherine at the She Shed kiosk. She's just off to the side of the information kiosk at the Marlborough Farmers Market. Growing really well, and the idea of this is to attract beneficial insects into the garden. Creeping daisies, growing well. I want to show you our garlic. Now, we planted this a few weeks ago. Now, you'll recall, being an avid viewer, that we planted 4 cloves, and we planted them different ways. Some of them we planted them upside down, some of them we planted the right way up, some of them we planted sideways, and it shows now that they've all germinated, they've all come through, and they're all pretty much at the same sort of level. Just proves what my good friend Stephen at Golden Mile Produce says, they know which way is up. So garlic growing really well. Last week on the show, I planted some lettuce in with our elephant garlic, just to make use of the space of this 10 litre pot. And you can see that the lettuce is growing really well. However, something that is not growing particularly well is our spinach. It's not growing particularly well at all. And I'm not sure why. Maybe it's not getting enough water. As we know, you can never underestimate the value of water. Right, let's take a look back at the week that was. Now, It was a good week, don't get me wrong. I always have a good time at the farmers market, but yesterday I didn't feel so well. I'll tell you why a little bit later. Had a great week on the farm, getting the outside paddocks ready for the next season. Newcastle Knights had a win, keeping their slim final hopes alive. Last week marked the 1 year anniversary of the passing of Bray Wyatt. It was sudden, it was shocking, and it stung, and it still does. It's a hell of a thing when you lose one of your heroes. You always find yourself thinking, what would he be into if he was still with us? What would he be doing? What kind of car would he drive? What kind of music would he be into? What sort of art would he be producing? And so it stings. It's just, I tell you, I had a really good couple of catch-ups with friends and family last week. On Thursday, I had a catch-up with a friend of mine that I hadn't seen for a while. On Saturday, I had a good hang with my sister and her wife and their 2 children. Renee and I and the kids went out and saw them. We hung out for quite a while. It was really cool. The kids are at an age now where they are just that little bit more independent. You can kind of let them do their thing a lot more. And so it's cool because the adults get to hang out and talk instead of just always keeping an eye on the kids. What are you doing? It's a really good time hanging out with friends and family. And it's always important to make the most of those times because, as we see with Bray, and as I'll talk about in a moment, you never know when you're going to not have any more of those times. That's it for the week that was. The week ahead, very special, something happening at the Marlborough Farmers Market this weekend. I've been part of organising a fundraiser for Witherley School. That's the school that the kids go to. Some of the parents are going to do some baking, and they're going to have a bake stall at the market to raise money for their jump jam team that are going to nationals. So really cool for me to be involved in a small way in organising something like that. Great week on the farm, doing our seeding program for the next little while. Celebrity birthdays in the week ahead. It's happy birthday to Jack Black. Happy birthday to the lead singer of Florence Plus the Machine. And there's another very special birthday. A man that's no longer with us. He would have been 49 this week. And he's no longer with us because 8.5 years ago, he lost his battle. But in doing so, he left a permanent reminder that I cannot lose mine. And for that reason, I'm very proud to announce my cousin Shane as the first ever honorary Monday Morning Live champion. And along those same lines, I've made a decision. For the month of September, I'm going to give up drinking coffee. That's right, I'm going to give up drinking coffee. You see, at the farmers market yesterday, I only have one coffee a week, right? And it's at the Marlborough Farmers Market. And I always joke around because I only have the one coffee. And I always go, for the love of Farley, that's the best coffee I've had all week. But yesterday I had a coffee and it really, I'm drinking water at the moment, by the way. Never underestimate the value of water, except when it's trickling out of your eyes. When I had a coffee yesterday, it upset my guts. And I just thought, it's not worth it, You feel good for a little while, but then you just feel so bad for so long afterwards. Actually, that reminds me of something else. Maybe there's something else that I should give up for the month of September. I'll think about it. I'll get back to you next week. Thank you, everybody, for watching this week. Slightly shorter show. I just want to give a quick shout out to everybody who tuned in to the widescreen version of MML 65. This is a few weeks back, this being 68. For some reason, and it may have been that MML 65 featured the return of the great Adam Mensch, but that has become my most viewed long-form social media film of all time. So a big thank you to everybody that tuned in to that particular episode and to all of the episodes on my YouTube channel, Benny. You know, there's people from all around the world that tune in to Benny. There's people from all around the world that tune into Monday Morning Live. Not only here in New Zealand, but even all parts of Australia, even all the way up in Northern Ireland. So thank you to everybody for tuning in. You can see me anytime you want on my YouTube channel, Benny. You can see me every Sunday morning at the Marlborough Farmers Market. You can see me every Monday morning here on Monday Morning Live. And I'll see you next time in the garden.
And we're clear.
Whew, that was a close one.